Ayobami, welcome. Finally, we're having this. This was supposed to sometime last year, because we started the discussion as far back as April. And I'm glad almost a year later we're having this fireside chat. Welcome home.
Thank you.
Welcome to Nigeria. How's been the experience so far?
Not bad. The first day was kind of like different because it was very hot. But I think it got better over time. And also because we did the rain a couple of days. So, but it's better. It's better now. Yeah, I'm adapting. Like, to the system.
Definitely. No place like home.
Yeah, I mean, I also think like coming this morning, I had to like spend like 2 hours to get here from Lekki. The traffic was, I thought like we were on traffic like maybe by 9 o'clock, but Lagos is Lagos.
Welcome to that city.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so let's get into the conversation. What inspired you to go into the world of entrepreneurship, and what has your journey been like so far?
So I think growing up, generally I liked looking for problems. Like really. I remember like getting like flogged for, I would typically carry maybe TVs and scroll it out and try to like find something inside, try to connect it to another thing. But I think it really changed when I found love for computer engineering. I actually did a training around that for like about 3-6 months that I left. Then eventually I found the software part, right, accidentally. And that was like at the 2011, about 13 years now. So just seeing the ability to write a computer program, and at the end of the day, you're able to see the outputs, and that output is solving a problem. I've always been fascinated about like providing solutions to problems around me using technology. Started an agency like in 2012, failed 1 year after. Started a web hosting company around after like about 2 years, failed after as well. Then built an app called, I forgot what it was called. So basically what the app was supposed to do was help class reps back then on campus to send messages to students without accessing the internet. Back then, BlackBerry was a thing, but not a lot of people had it. And not a lot of people also had UBS, if you remember, BlackBerry subscription, right? So there was a need for people to get information. So I took that app and eventually handed it over to someone. Then I was going to go on IT, you're doing a bunch of things, you've done it, we go on IT, right? Because I was super lazy, I say that I'm probably like the laziest person on it. I don't want to like start applying for, just to do my internships. So my friends who had connections, maybe like siblings or dad were in a really good environment, they would have like given them letter to get somewhere. I had nothing. But back then, Junior and Conga already they came into the system, and you could buy something online and get it delivered to your doorstep. So I was like, okay, why can't they hire me from the comfort of my room for my internship? Why do I have to come to Lagos and be walking the streets, enter different offices and asking them if they're looking for interns? So I was like, there has to be a platform for this. Since I can actually also go online and apply for a job, why can't I apply for internships as well? There was no category around that time. So I decided to build a blog that basically goes to the internet and pull companies' information in Nigeria with their phone number and their email. So I did that, and I think the third day we had 3,000 signups. And that was like, oh really, people actually do this. And from there, it went on to become something bigger. We took it from the blog to a proper blog application where students now come in to create an account, put up their resume, things that they've done before, then you can have companies reach out to them. So we did that for like about 3 years, and during the course of 3 years, we learned like more than 1 million things, right? One of the things would be when companies wanted to like take interns. They had a reservation around the fact that these interns have no experience, right? You don't have these liability skills. So the problem was not them getting an internship. The problem was getting an internship where they could perform. So we decided to solve the employability skills part by providing trainings on the platform as well. So back then we were students, we go on the platform, taking 2 courses. And these courses are not things we would do in class. These are basically communication skills, interpersonal skills, writing skills, and all those things. At the end of the day, we got funded by the German government through GIZ, the partnership with CCL. Got funded by TOB DC as well, the partnership with Facebook and the US government. Then we were able to train over 50,000 African youths. We were able to gain about 4,000 of them internship opportunities before that ended, that phase. I took a break for like about 4 years, not to do anything, I just worked in corporate because I was so tired. Entrepreneurship, like, would drain you abroad. You have no idea, like I'm here right now. I know where I'm going next, I know my schedule for the day, but the most interesting part is it could change anytime. And it could change because maybe a customer is requesting for something, or it could change because when server somewhere needs a configuration, or when engineers push the dog to production or something will always happen. Any week that you don't find something new, that week is not like, it's not so, right? So I think when I was also in corporate, for like 4 or 5 years that I spent there, I enjoyed the work that I did, but there's this what is it called? When you're really excited about what you're doing and you love it deeply. I was excited, I loved it, but not as deep as much as I love entrepreneurship, right? When I was at Meta, if you follow me on maybe Instagram or Twitter, I'm a Meta guy. I like Mark usually since the early days of Facebook. So getting into Meta to work with them seemed like my dream job, and also the feeling you get when you work with a company like that. And I literally like see that I can actually send Mark a message and he'll read it. That feels good. Like that. The vibe and all of that. But 3 months, 4 months down the line, I started like feeling anxious and I was having like depression. And at the end of the day, when I just about to like work with Costa, I saw that I wasn't really fulfilled. Like I was just doing the job like for doing sake, and I didn't like it. Around that time, Mainstack had already started, but like it wasn't something that I was doing full time. I was just to the side. But a lot of other things like led on to other things that eventually made me resign my role and focus on entrepreneurship.
Thank you for that. So now, Mainstack.
Yeah.
We've had placements.ng, which you closed, which you locked down after impacting thousands of Africans. And then you went back to work, but the drive for entrepreneurship has pulled you back, and now Mainstack. So let's talk about Mainstack, which is currently headquartered in the United States. And I know you have some staff also up in Nigeria and probably in other parts of the world. So how do you manage the complexities of handling a distributed team?
So it's my first time back in Nigeria since like the past 6 years. I have never met my team in person before until last Monday in person. Yeah, so it was kind of emotional. At some point, we had employees with a team of almost 30 now, distributed across Nigeria and just the US. At some point, we had employees in the UK. I would say at the end of the day, right, there's no direct or straight process to it. One thing that I've always like really amplified when hiring maybe talent or working with people would be hiring people that have the right attitude. Because skills can be taught, right? One of the things that we look out for when we hire people that we work with or colleagues that will come and work with us would be where are you right now and what's your vision and where are you going? For example, 2 years ago when we started Mainstack, it was just a bunch of undergraduate guys that were like the engineers like we product. But these guys were super dedicated, they were very hungry, they wanted to build something. And I remember making a promise to them, which I'm excited that we were able to fulfill. And that promise was, I asked them that, okay, what keeps them up at night? One of them said the fact that they would like to build a product that is being used outside of Nigeria. And I made a promise that, okay, this is going to be a product that you will build that will be used in countries that probably have never heard their name. And 2 years down the line, Mainstack is being used in about 127 countries. So, it's been a lot of like work, but I think just focusing on having people that have really good attitude to work, to life as well is very, very important. It helps. Skills can be learned, attitude can't. We can't train attitude. We've had also like not so good experience with folks that we brought on the team who weren't so performing we were expecting. But I think we sort of like there's a lot of iterations that you have to do as well to get where it works. Another thing that I would say is like putting the right structure in place. Very, very important. And also right structure, right let me say SOPs, standard operating procedures, so that people sort of understand that this is what I report to, and helping them to really understand what success looks like for them as well. So if your engineer comes to work on Mainstack, for example, the person sort of like understand what success looks like for them in a year or two, or in 3 years. A perfect example would be the team that I met in Lagos. There's one of them that I'd already met. That is leaving this month. He moved to the UK for his degree, so I was in London like 2 weeks ago. The guy had to like come 2 hours away to come see me, and we also saw for the first time in person. And the guy literally built everything that has to do with front-end for Mainstack. So, and him being in the UK right now, we discussed it 2 years ago, right? And part of the things that we discussed was, what's the next phase for you, right? I guess that's also been the reason why we had like really high retention rates of people working at Mainstack. I head of product design, for example, this is job at Florida. Imagine how much it was earning. Yeah, that's his job. My current CTO, I started Mainstack when I had a CTO who founded Germany, left his job at Google. Yeah. So I think helping people to really see what this could get, what it can become, then at the same time helping them to see where they could, what they could do and where they could get to next is very important. So it makes the company, it makes even me as the visionary not to be selfish, but also ensure that their own growth is also picked up.
Thank you very much. If you learn that attitude is everything. Yeah. Skills can be taught, but not attitude. So hire for attitude. It's exciting to know that you are just meeting your staff for the first time.
Yeah.
In the past 2 years, and you've been able to lead even virtually. So that shows a sign of a great leader.
Thank you.
Keep up the good job. So my next question will be that currently you serve clients in over 125 countries. How do you get to manage that? Because I can imagine serving clients in just one country, or two. But then over 125 countries, different time zones, different continents, different languages. How do you get that done?
So I would say a lot of iterations again. On Monday, we even had to like make a decision on Monday that the Lagos team would focus on just serving the African market. And that's basically because we've seen that in the past 1 year that we've gone to market, it's been very difficult for maybe a victory that is sitting in VI to talk to somebody that is living in San Francisco because the time zone is not good, right? I'm currently in Lagos. There are some calls on my calendar I don't even try to join because it's very like 11 p.m. So we tried so many things to see what actually works. But in terms of like other countries, like even Asia, continents like maybe Asia, or when you're even talking about countries like you're going to Singapore, which would be like 13 hours ahead than maybe US. Majority of those markets actually they are in like the middle of the funnel. So we have like top 3 markets or countries that we focus on, not to spread ourselves too thin. One would be the US, Canada, and the UK. In terms of the numbers of users, we have tons of users in Nigeria. But in terms of business, we do more business in the West. So sort of like make sure that the operational team, the customer success and account management guys, sort of focus on the markets that is very comfortable for them. Then our system is, our product is very intuitive. You've checked it before. One of the things that we did, or one of the visions that we had, was to make sure that we did technology as simple as possible for people to use. So if my mom, for example, who was a teacher before, still a teacher before she retired, would go on Mainstack. I don't want her to ask me what is this button for. That's like literally how much thought we put behind the product itself. So the product sort of like sell itself. Then also we have like a network effect in the product where if you're a creator and you know that you're based in Lagos and you use Mainstack, and you have a client that is based in the UK, and you send them maybe an invoice to pay for a solution, a service for them. By the time the person receives it, they will see that it's powered by Mainstack, and that person also will check it and say, oh, how can I send you money from here and you get it like really easily, or how can I like purchase a service from you like literally from anywhere, and we are able to render the service, get paid while doing it. One of the things that we lay emphasis on would be helping creators, small business owners, entrepreneurs focus on what they know how to do best, which is their business. Leave everything technology and payments to us.
All right, thank you so much. So let's do a deep dive on the product and then our Mainstack. I realized I have lots and lots of features. I was checking it out again this morning, and I saw that you have a storefront, you have payment links, virtual cards. Like I can literally create MasterCards and Visa cards that is usable in 131 countries of the world. You have payment APIs, I could start a community, media key, link in bio. Could you just, okay, so let me say, how do you foster a culture of innovation within the company? And can you just tell us more about these different features? I know not many people here, or not everybody here is using Mainstack. Well, I'm a Mainstack user, but sell Mainstack to the people in the audience. And how do you foster a culture of innovation? Because these are lots and lots of features.
Yeah. So Mainstack, what we do basically is we provide you with easy to use tools to showcase your work, which means you can't need a website or a one big website you can create by yourself without hiring a developer. Use our drag and drop logo tools to do that. What you see is what you get, which means if you drag something, you literally see how it's going to look. While selling your products and services and receiving payments. That's it. I think it's also going to be very beneficial to go back to like 2 years ago when it started. Mainstack 2 years ago is not like where we are right now. A lot of things that happened like along the line. One of the things that we show like that we do at top like times, and also I think it's also because of my experience from like working different products before, so the experience of like it came in handy. We started with just being a one-page site builder, right? And fostering like an innovation in a company would be, for me, just listening to your customers. Your customers are literally your anchor. They are the ones that will let you know what they're going to pay for and what they're not going to pay for. As a visionary and entrepreneur, you have this badass idea, you want to put the next man on the moon. What if the next man doesn't want to go to the moon? And I also feel like that's like one mistake that a lot of like entrepreneurs now used to make. Building solutions and now using it to look for problems. Instead of embracing the problem and building a solution for it. Those are two different things. A lot of entrepreneurs nowadays do that, and that's why they fail on that, like quickly. What we did was we continued to listen to our customers. So when we built the LinkedIn bio products back then, or one-page site builder, we had tons of requests from them saying that, I want to be able to sell my digital products and services. I'm already a consultant today. You've already given me a tool to show it to people. Now, I have bundled it into services, and I would like to be able to sell it easily using Mainstack. I don't want to use any other third-party tool, right? We didn't want to build it, actually. So we reached out to some players in this space already, that we have, I think back then we had 30,000 users. We had almost like 30K users asking for this. Can you give us APIs such that we are not reinventing the wheel? You would be the one servicing it, right? But we didn't get like really good feedback from those partners I mentioned it. So we still didn't want to do it because it was going to be very engineering heavy. But 2 months down the line, we started building it. And 1 year down the line, or about 18 months, the storefront that we built has, helped creators and entrepreneurs sell products and services worth about $2 million. So that was the storefront. Then this set of users came again saying that, actually, what I need is not a storefront. I just need an invoicing solution. Such that I've already spoken to this person. They don't need to go to my storefront to go and be looking for that product again, right? I just want to generate an invoice and collect my money, right? That was literally how we built invoicing. We started having requests again around, okay, I am a creator and influencer. I already sell digital products and services on my storefront. I already built the popular NCN using my invoicing solutions, right? I have about 100K people following me on Instagram. I would like to be able to charge each of them. I would like to bring them into a community so that they can have access to exclusive content from me. I'll just charge them maybe $1 a month or $10 a month. That was how we started building the community. Then some customers still came in and said that, okay, Coca-Cola worked with me last month, or MTN worked with me last month. And typically, if you know like the creator space or the creator space, when brands want to work with creators, the first thing they ask for is their rate cards, right, or their media kit. So their media kit basically is a document that shows the analysis of that person's engagement and followers. So typically, how they do it today is you have to hire a designer to help you do that counter, right? So each time that you want to talk to that same brand, for example, they had sent a media kit last week. This week it would have changed because if you had 100K followers last week, you probably maybe not just would have reposted you, and you have an additional 20K. So you want to be able to build that client based on the new metrics numbers. So you have to design that thing again. So we took a look into our ecosystem and we saw that it was something that we could do, and that was actually how we get this started. So all of the apps or products that we have today are actually we're giving them to by our customers, not us. And I also think that's like the best place we want to be, because even while they're building the product and they know that you're building it for them, it's easier for them to pay you for it than you building the product and not making a amount and shuffling it down their throat. That's not good.
Thank you very much. I can see some of our hands itching to ask questions. There will also be, you're going to be given the time to do that, right? So I know that in Mainstack you also have a referral program where people make money. Like if I refer people to sign up on Mainstack, I can make money. So please take note of that piece of information. You can make money by referring people to Mainstack. And recently, I noticed that Mainstack is organizing a crypto bootcamp.
Yeah.
Can you shed more light on that, please?
Oh yeah. So we realized that. So we took a look into our data, and we realized that we had different categories of users. And what I mean by that is, because we are playing in the creator economy, the kind of value that these creators or these users that they drive, the gap is too much. What I mean by that is this. On Mainstack right now, we have users that, doing their business, they don't make up to they don't do up to $100 a month, which is maybe 1,170. What's the question? They don't make up to $100 a month right now. And we have the second category that averagely they do about $10,000 a month in their business. And we have another one that they do about $70,000 to $100,000 a month. You see, the gap is too much, right? So that got us worried a bit. Then we started doing research on what could be the reason. So we saw that the difference between the guy doing just $100 to $10,000 to $100K was basically understanding that there has to be a process in place. You can't just be dancing on TikTok for followers and comments. That doesn't translate into money. A lot of our users today do that because they are passionate about it. And at times what they're passionate about doesn't give you money if you don't attach a process to it or monetize it. So that was what gave birth to the Creator Bootcamp, where we're bringing together industry experts that have done this before. These are the biggest guys in the game, to help hold these newbies through the journey of understanding how to set process for their creative business and also how to monetize as well. So that's the reason why we started the Creator Bootcamp. I think it started in March. And registration is closing, I think, by the end of this month. For the referral program, so we noticed that customers started asking that, I've used your products, I like it, I want to refer somebody, but I don't want to refer somebody, can we just leave it at that? So what are you guys going to do? Which is normal, I'll do the same thing. Yeah. So we experiment, we didn't want to build it, because each features or the products that we build is quite engineering heavy. We have just about 13 or 14 engineers right now. They work usually around the clock, and we don't like that. We try to work-life balance. So we didn't want to build it. So what we would do typically is we tell, you want to refer also your community, not a problem. We will come to your community and talk to them. If they all sign up, sure can do that and sign up, right? So, but that's not scalable. Right? So, even over time, many times, we figured out that it wasn't scalable, that we were forced to do the system that helps people once you refer somebody to our platform, you're writing commission or for your revenue as well.
So you heard that, the Mainstack Creator Bootcamp. Applications are still ongoing. Feel free to sign up and be a part of that training. Yeah. I've signed up already, and I'm really looking forward to it.
And it's completely free, and it's also not just for creators. If you're also a consultant, maybe you are even into photography. The word creator is overflowed. We are all creators, regardless of what you do. It's what type of creator are you, right? If you're a software engineer, you're a creator. So what the Creator Bootcamp is going to help you to do is to see the business aspect of what you're passionate about. A lot of us get really distracted by our passion that we don't seek monetization. That's why we are broke. I've been there for many years, and it's not a good place to be. So you don't have to be popular general operator, even if what you do today is you're a graphic designer and you have two clients. The job of the Creators Bootcamp is to help you to understand how you can exponentially grow that to 10 to 15 to 20 clients. What kind of funnels do you need to set up? What kind of email marketing tools should you be using? How should you be talking about your business online, offline? And how should you basically, when you're approaching leads or clients, how should you be structuring your messaging? There's something called message market fit. If you want to sell me water, if you say, "Oh, I buy water," I might not buy it. But if you tell me, "Ayo, you are thirsty, buy water," I might keep my hand to my pocket, I might not take it out. But if you say, "Oh, Ayo, you are thirsty, there's no other place you can buy water around. I'm going to be leaving in like 5 minutes to buy water." So you've created urgency, you told me my problem to my face, so I'm aware of it, and also you've given me the solution. So understanding all of these nuances behind sales, marketing, branding as well. Branding is very important. The difference between the guy that is doing a logo for 5K and the guy that is doing a logo for 100K is just branding and perception. So if I see this person right here, and I don't feel that, "Oh, this person should be charging me $1 million for something," I won't pay them for it. So the job of the Creators Bootcamp is to help you to, reshape what you have ongoing right now to get like a better stage.
Thank you, Ayo. Can you share with us a pivotal moment or challenge you have faced in the process of building Mainstack?
That was almost every week. Challenge would be, I think, right from the first day that we launched. So I think we launched October 2021 or 2022, I can't remember. So the night that we launched, our server crashed because we had just 1,000 users, just 1,000. It wasn't a lot. Our server crashed, and that happened because when we were building, there were so many things we should have taken into consideration technologically that we didn't. A lot of resources were running the back end, just eating up our memory on cloud. We spent almost 7 hours on call. I thought I was going to do the last one. 7 hours, like what I like 7 hours is we were all on the call for 7 hours. We tried to figure it out and all. That was one challenge that we faced. Second one would be finding the best people to work with. You'll find it interesting that whenever we open maybe a position or a role and we get applications, within 24 hours we get maybe 700 applications, maybe 24 hours, 700 applications, maybe the next maybe 1,500. We're probably hiring one person or two, and it's still difficult. Why is it difficult? It shouldn't be right, but it's still difficult. We've had to, sprint over again, and it's just difficult. Finding the best guys to work with. So when we do now find those best guys to work with, we celebrate it. Another challenge would be dealing with, and these are real issues that you face every day, running a business, and it's no big deal. You eventually put it in skin. There are some certain things that doesn't bother me anymore, because I feel like we are getting towards a better stage. You face challenges with customers as well. If you do have customers, that's a good problem actually to have. Perhaps you have somebody pay for your product. So when they call me by 12 a.m., by 2 a.m., my time, which could be maybe actually their time, I had to wake up when people call. There was one day that I was like, so I'm not very good with 2 phones, so I usually use 1 phone. So my business line is also here. Somebody called from the UK around 3 a.m. one day. "I just made payment to your platform. You did not tell me anything. Where's the money?" And I was like, "Oh my God." That's also a good problem to have anyways, but different challenges here and there. Partners, you would also face issues with partners as well. But I think once you get there, you would find a way around this somehow. You know somebody that knows somebody that can help you to do something, and that's also a really interesting part. Pivotal moment for us would be when we moved from being a one-page site builder to being an all-in-one platform. We literally had to rebuild our entire life code base. We literally had to rebuild everything from scratch. Because we eventually had to come to terms with the fact that at the end of the day, we are going to be like a Microsoft or a Facebook, which has family labs, right? Facebook today has more than, their house is like in the hundreds, even Microsoft as well. And the kind of like vision that we've also set for the company would be being the household name for user persona. So when you think about e-commerce today, you most likely think about Amazon, the biggest, right? Social connectivity, Meta or Facebook. When you think about what's other one is out there, productivity tools, Microsoft. So we want all creators, all entrepreneurs, digital entrepreneurs, small business owners that are running their business. When they think about the platform to go to be able to showcase what they do, connect to customers, manage their business online, receive payment from literally anywhere in the world, we want Mainstack to be the household name. And it takes a lot of work, but it's also like a step at a time.
Thank you. All right, so let's quickly talk about you as an individual. In the year 2018, you won the very first edition of TechPoint Pitch Talk, where you pitched placements.ng. And last year, you were among the top 20 startups that got to the finals of the Techstars Battlefield. What do you think stands you out? Is it the product, or is it the pitching skills, or both?
So I think at the end of the day, everything's like work like hand in hand. I think one thing to also not forget is not giving up. I think that's the most important part. Trying every day, doing it about the right game. Even outside of entrepreneurship as well, going into maybe corporate, maybe 9 to 5. When I moved to the US and I was looking for a job, I decided I wasn't going to work for any company that is not known. So it was very intentional for a couple of reasons. So I decided that I wanted to work at the UN, and I applied, I'm not sure, maybe at first 7 times, then to just UN alone. Then I got interviewed once, then I messed it up. I know I messed it up because I didn't understand the heart of interviewing. It's a skill. It's a game. Yeah. So I didn't understand that I was too humble, I was too honest. I'm still very honest. But what I'm just trying to say is, I went into the interview saying what I wanted to hear, not what the interviewer wanted to hear. So I didn't get that. Then I continued applying, I never stopped, and I did a lot of certification, then eventually I got it. And what changed between when I didn't get it and when I got it was basically one. Aside from the fact that I had many certifications, two, the person that was going to interview me, I went to research the person. In fact, the day that I was interviewed, the previous was the guy's birthday. So when I came onto the call, the person I said it was happy birthday. Yeah. So he was surprised that I knew that, and I also referenced the kind of work he's done before. So being very intentional is also very key. And also, that's just the UN. Every other role that I'd applied to maybe 200-300 times. It's very tiring, but not giving up is I think the most important part, because you will face problems. It's normal. You have to really be able to, you have to go to the extent where you have now thick skin, that small issues don't bother you anymore. You move, right? That's not how we say it. In fact, to the extent that companies that I didn't apply to started rejecting me. Yeah, I applied to one role sometime. I think I did, Danaher Chase. They sent me a rejection email, and I was like, fine, at least you go back to me, that's good. Then the HR reached out back to me and said, oh, sorry, it was a mistake. Can I apply again? So I applied again, I think on a Friday. The following morning, they rejected me again. So, not giving up, like just continuing to also find better ways of doing things. Another example would be now coming back into entrepreneurship. When we were running placements back then, there are currently a lot of things that I did when I was running placements that I don't do anymore right now. So, for example, the way I talk to people, the way I make friends, the way I network at conferences, the way I speak about the product, everything in life is about perception. So if you can't control the perception that the other guy has about you, they will have whatever they want to have, and you don't want to be there. So getting into maybe winning 3-point big songs, we're at PH and getting into the country battlefield. I think now the product excellence came in for this one, because there were about 4,000 people that applied. 200 got into the selection stage, then 20 people got into finals, and we're the only Nigerian-led company. And when we spoke to the program manager for the branch event, she said she has never seen a complex problem be broken down in a very simple manner as much as Mainstack did. That she took time on our platform to use our solutions, and she was like, wow. So I think the excellence also and when you also talk about the excellence, this is tons of days of back and forth with my guys as well, helping them to understand that you have to always show up correct. Because if you don't, people will take you for jokes, right? And it's also going back and forth with the guys that you work with and helping them to understand why excellence is very important. Because one of the things that happens most in life, which is not fair, is people judge you when you're not there. And what they judge you for will be things that are very offensive. It's not there. When we hire people at Mainstack, I really don't care about where you studied. It's personal, but some people will judge you for where you studied. Well, this person wants to polytechnic, they go to university, so you're not going to hire them. That's not home, right? So people sort of have this subconscious bias against certain things, so which is why I say at the end of the day, you have to be able to write your own story, else people will write it for you. I had my bachelor's in in Nigeria, and my master's in the UK. The way I write that story on my resume is different, such that if you are an employer in the West and you see my resume, what you see first will be what I want you to see first, right? And the same thing is also for entrepreneurship as well. When you're building products, you try to talk to customers, most times people are selfish. We are all selfish in the job. So what I do when I go into maybe calls or when you pitch demo would be understanding what tickles you. Maybe you are an investor, maybe you're a partner, maybe you are a customer. Those are very different stakeholders, right? What are you interested in? What's the need for you on this call, right? If I'm talking to an associate like investor, that I know that at the end of that call, she's going to have to write a summary and send it to the partner to come talk to us. The associate has a KPI, into a KPI that he or she needs to meet. I need to understand it so that I can give it to her, so that she can now go and represent me well. It's literally, playing politics, right? But while you're doing all of that, ensuring that actually you have a solid product, you are being very honest with your process, and you're not just selling something that you just make it up. That don't do that, because they'll find out.
Thank you. Don't give up. A lot of people feel that just try something once or twice, it doesn't work, and then that's the end of it. This is someone who's applied for a job 7 or more times. And sometimes I met some Indians, and I was shocked to learn that people actually apply for, to different companies. I heard someone told me that he has sent out applications to over 700 applications, and I'm like, wow. You mean people actually go through this job search? So nothing becomes easy. Right? So If you're here on this fireside chat with the CEO of Mainstack, it's not a stroll in the park. He didn't just get there. You know, you heard him saying, talking about spending hours and hours of calls and all that. So we are really inspired. I am really inspired. I believe that everyone in the audience is highly inspired. Now, we are almost getting to the end of the fireside chat. I have to give room to the audience to also ask some questions. But then let me quickly ask, where do you see Mainstack in the next 5 years and in the next 10 years?
Okay. So I think 10 years is very far. I don't think I want to do this for another 10 years. Sorry.
You want to exit?
Yeah, so in 5 years, hopefully we probably have sold. Or depending on what's happening by that time. Myself and my co-founder sort of like have this thing where we say that, okay, we just want to give it another couple of years and see if we find somebody that's bigger than us or make the money. I would say, we're not doing anymore. We're very passionate about what we do, we're excited about it as well, but we have investors that are taking their money and we want them to also have returns as well. And they can't have returns if we don't either like sell, exit, or go public. I don't want to say I don't want to go public because that's another area on its own. I like to spend time to do things that doesn't use my brain as much anymore, at least once I actually do it yesterday. Yeah, so 5 years would be eventually having all of these products that we're talking about, we can sell like thousands and millions of customers around the world. Gets recognized for our brilliance and the excellence and stuff we do, and you know, the global commerce that we enable. And work with the best set of like teammates from around the world, travel to as many countries as possible where we have users that are driving commerce on our platform, and also making impact while doing it, because if you're not doing that, then what's the point? And at the end of the day, make a lot of money for our investors, right? And so that everybody can be happy. 10 years, I really don't know. I think we'll probably be doing something like that by. Yeah.
A round of applause for Ayo. Questions from the audience? Anyone?
Thank you very much. That was a powerful presentation. I came in late, but then I think that I'm able to learn one or two things. My name is Piotr. I represent a strong youth association in Nigeria. We're actually looking at ways of doing a few things. And during my research, I actually came up, your organization rather came up, and in fact, it's one of the reasons why I'm here now. So when Mr. Mani came here, shared something like that, I was like, wow, probably it's one of the things to do the guests that are going to be picking up and some of them today. Let me say we are about 6,000 strong in terms of population membership. And we are looking at how to innovate and introduce some things within our community. I've heard what you do, but then I want to know if there are rooms for you to partner with some of us. I think you're a charity organization, but then how we can partner, because we have strong user base, and I believe our influence in terms of reaching out to other people in Nigeria, the network effects that you also mentioned, that there are ways that we can benefit mutually going forward. So I want to know if we can strike that kind of partnership.
Definitely. So we do a lot of, we actually do that right now. And I'm not sure if you know ActFest, Airport and Landmark, we were sponsored by the University. We're one of the sponsors as well. So we do like partnerships like that, or collaborations like that, in as much as it's within our basis, and that's how we're looking for the quarter or for the year. And also timing is very important, right? In as much as we see clear value that the brand is going to get, and also your brand is going to get as well, then we do it. There are also some occasions where we actually don't expect anything. It's part of our CSR, I just want to give back to the community as well. So we have an avenue to it, so I really have to chat with you. Thank you.
Questions? I think I saw a hand up.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Chigozie. I want to ask what happened to that first internship platform.
That's a very question that's going to get emotional to us. Yeah, so we ran placement for 4 years. During the 4 years, we traveled to based on the installation that I gave, we worked with a lot of students and recent graduates, right? Placing them on internship jobs. So that took me to literally almost many universities in Nigeria. I was also a student, by the way, back then, but I was always sleeping in the chest to travel. So we did that, and we tried to raise capital. I think we were a team of 8 full-time, and about 21 ambassadors across the country. So we tried to raise capital in Nigeria. I spoke to our hosts back then. They had some, I'm not sure if you can see it right now, something called Lagos Angels Network. Spoke to our hosts, some of the investors there, and we didn't get any money. And one of the things that I think we saw back then when we couldn't raise capital was I was still a student. I was attending full-time component. What else? We are not from the rich background. Like fundraising, all of things we're talking about in entrepreneurship, especially when you come from the venture side, is like a cabal, right? If you're not in the cabal, you have to fight your way into it. So anybody outside of that fence is an outsider. So for a very long time I was, because I didn't have the criteria that they were looking for, or I didn't study abroad, right? If you go back to 2016, 2015, 2017, you would sort of see a trend of the folks that were raising investments, and you can come back and let me clarify what that thing about. So I saw that as a sort of discrimination, right? And I didn't like it. And that brings me back to what I said the other time when I said I didn't want to work for a company that would have to tell you what to do. It must know the company. It was quite intentional. So we continued clean, because we get people jobs. That sort of fall under SDGs, I think, 4 and 8, decent jobs and economic growth. Maybe education is 4. It's been a very long time. I'm even surprised that I remember. So, because we do that, a lot of organizations were willing to give us money as we did grants, non-equity or we were just, So we got some, and that kept us going for as long as we could. Then we had the opportunity to get shortlisted for something called the Diaspora Demo in Washington, DC. Got thrown out, all expenses paid. And when I was in the US for the first time, I read about a startup called Placement in the US. So we also called Placement, you can look them up. And they were doing something very similar to what we were doing in the Nigerian market. As at that time, we had 50,000 users, we had 2,000 employees on the platform. In fact, as at that time, I could go to events like this and I would meet people that brought it into our platform. Like the feeling, that comes with that. So getting to the US and learning about that, and also now seeing that these set of guys that are building this company called Placement in the US with no user and no product are just $3 million. And also the other guys that also hosted us for the conference as well, we're building a company that was in $40 million in a year. It just it felt like, oh wow, it's just totally different worlds, right? So we decided to migrate to the US eventually. Then when the first time we really launched business in the US, we pivoted from helping people get internships to helping people accelerate their career. So when you accelerate your career, there are so many things inside it. The internship is also there, but we also help them to get maybe study abroad programs. They want to migrate to Canada for maybe through permanent residency. We do all that for them. And the first week, we made money we didn't make in 4 years. And one of the things, like when I was also talking your time, would be at times we were passionate about something, but that's something we could just money. I was passionate and I loved helping people get into jobs, but that wasn't making us money. Interns were not ready to pay, of course they were broke. Like in a good way. We were all broke. Broke, and employers also were not ready to pay interns because they feel like they're doing those guys a favor. And in all honesty, we actually do them a favor. In all honesty, but the interns are also contributing a lot of value as well. So at least pay for their internet or pay for their transportation back, even if it's going to be 50,000 naira, just give them something, right? So we found ourselves lobbying and doing all of that. The employers also were not ready to pay us. So now connecting it back to what happened eventually. So what we eventually did was we shifted the focus from being the platform for everybody to come and find the internship or anything to if your brother or your sister or uncle or friend wants to move in Canada, UK, they need help like getting access to school, they want to go to the castle, they need to be counselor from the school, they want to understand something. We have the platform that is used for that. So what I did was I handed it over to someone else to continue to handle. Then I took the break for like about 4 years to go into corporate. The good thing was we didn't have external equity investments, so there was no investor that wrote my shares. So all the equity that we had then was just in between the founding team, and that was what happened.
All right, thank you. So my question is regarding the payment API. I want to make you support subscription. What I'm asking is, I have an acquisition with management, so I'm looking at reaching international markets because at the moment, the rate at which dollar is going to server market is quite huge for me because it's been distracted. So that's why I want to know if you support subscription. So they can pay each different clients from different countries can just pay from just one interface to different business.
Yeah. So I'll answer the second one first. So the essence of Mainstack is your clients or customers or users from anywhere in the world will pay with their local currency and you get paid in US dollars. So if somebody wants to pay for your product from Ghana, when they land on the place where they describe their account, they will see Momo. They will see like the currency is going to be Ghana cedis, not US dollars, not NGN. It will be their local currency that they have back to understand. Then when their card is charged, it's being routed back to US dollars, and you can decide to say, oh, I want my money back in Naira, or if I access in US in my dollar account. So that's what we do. The first question, subscription, as of now that I'm speaking, no, we don't have it. We don't have APIs for it, but what we do have is we have the subscription itself in development. That has to launch first before we craft it out as an API for the partner to use. In fact, I think part of the KPIs for my team this week is actually launch that data. So probably when I get to the office, I'll be able to get more on for you on that. I'm also providing timeline for what KPIs are ready.
My name is Ayo. So I have a question. I came up with this, and I was listening to you when you were talking about next year the product suite, right? So you mentioned something about most of your products being requested by users, right? So I have two questions. How do you determine if this product is going to be? Because definitely you want to do the products where just move on to person last and eventually give something when they eventually use, right? And how are you able to determine, do you eventually, have you ever these products where people don't use them, you have to probably take them down? So how do you screen products? How do you screen requests? Because I'm very sure you get tons of requests, right? So how do you know this particular product is going to be, and what's the process like of doing that?
Okay, that's a very good question. So, our users are dreamers.
Say,
Our users, they are dreamers. They feel like they're going to be the next Facebook. So they request for all sort of things. At times I will just say okay on the call and we say, "Oh, get back to you." And when my chairman allowed me to go to my CTO, talk about it. So just to answer the question, I think what we've done that I work would be charging you for for that production we are not even using. So are you going to pay? So if you're not going to pay, we won't do it. Or if you're not going to pay right now, what aspect of our product can you be using right now? And if that other product is not ready, can we make it manual for you at this point? I'll give you an example. So there's a user on our platform, she's based, I'm not going to mention God, let me mention her. So she's based in Lagos. Last year she did, not on our platform, on our own process manually. She did, I think, 160 million, selling one service. Naira, 160 million naira. Last month in January, she had already done about 57 million. So you can already forecast what the rest of the year will look like, right? And the reason why she's not using our platform is because we don't have one feature that she's looking for. So one of the things that we said was, we're going to give you 2 guys on my team because she's a one-man business. I'm going to give you 2 guys on my team to be your employee for free. In as much as you bring your business to us, and we're going to use you to learn how to build that product for you. Also, let me come back a little bit. The numbers that I mentioned are very important in this conversation. The way we make money on our platform is we charge a subscription fee and a commission fee. So when we see a user that is doing millions or hundreds of millions, whether they pay us in a subscription model, they can't exclude if they pay us in one way or the other, right? One way or the other, right? And that's fine for us. And there are also now a mirror of tens and hundreds of other people that need that same problem, that same solution. So there are also occasions where we get vanity requests. Oh, today we're able to do X, Y, and Z. Well, we think it's going to be nice if we can do ABC. But when you take a deep look at it, so we have like a Bible, we call it the Bible, at Mainstack that we use to judge a request. So I think it's 4 pillars. So the first one is, does this request have a direct impact on user growth? So let me give you a practical example. So our community feature has a very direct impact on user growth. And this is the way. So if somebody like Mr. Macaroni decides to come and launch his community on Mainstack today, tens and thousands of people would want to be part of that community, and they are indirectly our users. So that check, right? Does this feature directly or indirectly impact users' revenue, not platform revenue? So again, that's a customer that is doing 100 million this year. Once it gets like 300 million next year. So does it mean that if we build this feature, it will make them get there? Then 3 is, does this feature or request directly impact Mainstack's revenue? Okay, maybe the reason this person is not paying us the monthly subscription yet is because we don't have custom billing. What's custom billing? It's nice to have, right? It's not a must, it has to use our own subdomain. But if it's going to directly impact our revenue, okay, maybe a check. Then the last one, I can't remember. It's been a while I checked that. So that's like the, let me say, Bible that we use to judge the request. Now, when we now get requested our vanity, they are good requests, but it's not enough to work on them right now. So, and they don't directly have all of those things that I said. So what we just basically do is we give the customer like an estimate, like, well, this is going to be ready in Q4 2024, right? Q4 2024 is still in December, anything can happen before then. Chances are that we might even shift that for us. But we ensure that we sort of also guide their expectations and also their thought process regarding their business. We've had customers request for something before, and that's actually not what they need. So there's a way that you stylishly help them to engineer their thought process and, help them to understand what they are requesting for. Customers don't do that, like, it's not their job. Part of doing that helps you to do a lot of things. It helps you to learn about new opportunities. It helps you to learn about how you can even take more money from that person. And I think that's something I really enjoy, like, the most, taking more money from the same customer. Because at the end of the day, it reduces my CAC. I'm not getting new customers, I'm just charging the same customer over again. And they are seeing the value for what they are paying for, right? I'm not sure if that answered the question. If there was another question you asked,
You guys can do
do we do what?
shut down.
Yes, not necessarily kill. Kill is a very strong word. My engineers are going to find me for that. Yeah, we don't kill. What we do is we push it to the back of the backlog. Back of the backlog, which means granular work on it is here. A very perfect example would be a media kit solution. And there's an interesting story around that. So the media kit has to plug to, let's say, Mr. Macaroni's social media handles, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, plug to everything. And the job of the media kit, so it's called MediaKit.ai, the job is in real time, fetch the latest analytics of that particular user from their socials. So automatically, when Coca-Cola or Intel is doing business with them, refreshes the media kit, it brings the new data. But guess what? When we go to market, we landed into a shocker. And that shocker was basically what the brand wants to pay for is a perception that it's Mr. Macaroni. They don't care about numbers. If you want to work with the video, do you care about how many followers the video has? No. That's one. Two, we started saying that when we launched the media product, there's something called engagement rate on socials. So it's basically a bunch of formula. And the engagement rate, we started seeing that it was very, very low, like less than 1%. So the Mainstack is importing Mr. Macaroni's number to let's say Coca-Cola and saying his engagement rate is 0.005%. That's no good for Mr. Macaroni. It might be true, it might be wrong, but in business sense, it's not good for him. So we were just like, okay, this needs additional, research that we need to do. So instead of killing that product, what we did was we pushed it to the back of the backlog. We stopped taking registrations for it and we just allowed existing users to continue using it. Yeah.
Questions?
Nice chat, Ayo. Ayo, hi. So I was wondering if you could talk us through your legal and incorporation structure and the nuances around why you are incorporated where you are incorporated, right? I mean, as to tax optimizations and lots of other legal stuff.
Yeah. So I think I can just sorry. So today, Mainstack is incorporated in 2 countries, the US and Nigeria. Before the end of the year, probably incorporated in 3 more for some reasons, which is Canada, Ireland, and maybe the UK. UK not so sure yet, but it's one of the, we would have loved to incorporate in Ghana, but their regulations are very, very hard. You have to have a Ghanaian as a founder. And there's no culture to be a founder. Yeah, so US, because we're based in the US, we always want to sell to the West. Nigeria, because Nigeria will always continue to be a development center. It's my dream, personally. It's quite personal to me. I sort of like envision the state where we've got thousands of developers here, and designers, and data analysts, and folks that are doing excellent work. There's a company called Zoho. You know Zoho? Zoho is Indian based, as I guess. They're based in India. They have almost like 50,000 or 40,000 employees, but not just Indians. So I like to have that for Mainstack as well here in this market. Canada, because we have users today on Mainstack in Canada, that when they want to, so there's pay in fintech, there's pay in, there's pay out. Pay in is really easy, pay out is difficult. Pay in could also be difficult depending on the rules, right? So payouts to Canada means we have to wire the money from US to Canada. That would cost us $45 regardless of how much you spend, and not same day. So because we have like tons of customers now coming from that market, and also because we are pursuing a license in that market as well, we need to register an entity. Same thing for the UK, very similar thing for Ghana as well. For US, we are incorporated in Delaware for obvious reasons. They're actually better states than Delaware. I'm not marketing Texas here, but Texas has a really good, like startup friendly as well. Ireland, because of tax reasons as well, when it eventually gets to that stage. Majority of the big companies that you know today, like Facebook, Microsoft, HQ is in San Francisco, but the real HQ is in Ireland. So, yeah, that's what it is.
Okay.
Hello everyone, my name is Judith and I am a product manager. I work at a fintech company that deals with global payroll. When we were talking, I had lots of questions because I saw the heart and I saw how you're really passionate about what you're building at Mainstack. But I wasn't sure as to, okay, should I come as a product manager? Should I come as someone who intends or look forward to being a product owner? For someone that is really passionate about women and wanting to create opportunities for women, I wanted to work on creating a marketplace for women who were into business, but at that point I was confused and I had to just put it down. So the question I wanted to ask is, at what point did you know that you were onto something concerning Mainstack? At what point did you know that, oh, I was onto something, and what prepared you for that moment in your life where you knew that this is what I want to do and I feel like I'm ready, I feel like this is something that I can get done? Thank you.
So at what point, I think when we started having really good number of users, and when typically maybe I'm just chilling at night, scrolling through Instagram, and I'm landing on somebody's page, hoping that, oh, let me come and talk to this person to come and use Mainstack. I'm getting to their page, seeing that they are already using Mainstack. Yeah, so that gives me, I have this inner joy that comes with it. That's one, but that could be vanity. What I mean by that is, you might have hundreds of thousands of users and not making money. I know startups here in Lagos or even markets that have millions of users, but they don't make money. Where I knew or started getting to know that maybe this is something that we should spend time doing, and it's not just me, it's also Olamide, who is our CTO, co-founder, left his job at Google to come do this. Marvelous from Florida Wave, telling him to go and resign, and he went to resign as soon as his chance. Right? Yeah, so I think the point was when real customers started using our platform, and the comfort and the ease of, the way we made their business so easy. then the feedback that they give us, there's a fulfillment and joy that comes with seeing that people use your products. It helps them, and they are willing to pay. So when we got to that point when we saw that people were willing to pay, to use the platform, we have accounts or users today that the business makes as much as $1,000 on every month. Also like in North and South of that as well. So when we got to that stage, was when we saw that this could really get big. One other one that I remember was, I was still in corporate and I didn't want to resign my job. But I kept getting feedback from people telling me how big this could be and how much we are not regarding what we're building. That's my God. In fact, I met one of our customers came to Lagos lately from the US, so we decided to meet last weekend. And what she screamed all through was, Ayo, you guys are not marketing enough. I guess when you get to that point where it's even customers writing reviews about you, you just know that maybe this is something you want to pursue. One thing I tell like people or folks entrepreneurs generally is ensure that it's something they will pay you for them to come down. If they are not paying you for it, no matter. If they like, they should love it from 1 to 3 million. Nah, get money. The money itself is a sign of true love between the platform and the customer. Yeah.